Welcome to our roundup of the 2018 Auto Expo, and we start with the manufacturer that made the biggest splash at this year's Expo, Tata Motors. This is the 45X. Tata Motors' concept car which previews their i20 rival which will come late next year. This is a completely new platform, but making the biggest splash is this SUV, the H5X. Shown right now in concept form, it is based on the Land Rover L550 platform. Tata Motors is calling it Omega Arc, the platform, and it is jointly developed with Jaguar Land Rover. In fact, this is the same platform that underpins the earlier Discovery Sport, so you can expect this SUV to have solid capability both on as well as off the road. Now, this definitely looks like a concept and it looks fantastic, unlike any other Tata Motors vehicle you've ever seen. Of course, there is some familiarity with the Hexa, which is currently Tata Motors' range topper, but this is in a different league altogether. Pratap Bose and his styling team based out of Turin, the UK as well as Pune have done a phenomenal job of this. And the best part is that the car that will hit the roads later next year, they're talking about early part of 2019, that will be not too far away from this concept. So strip away the H5X from the 22-inch wheels on this concept and also a lot of the show car bling, and you're looking at the SUV that will be on the roads very soon. Before the H5X hits the road, we will have the Tiago EV as well as the Tigor EV. Now, these are based on Tata Motors' current platforms. The electric powertrain has been developed by Electra EV, and it has been built to take care of the government's need for electric vehicles, their desperate and current need for electric vehicles. In fact, deliveries of the Tigor EV have already started, and this is something that enthusiasts will rejoice. These are the JTP performance cars. They're based on the Tigor as well as the Tiago. Both get the 1.2-litre Revertron turbo petrol engine, makes around 110 horsepower, and it has been developed at the Curry Motor Speedway at Coimbatore. It's got lowered sporty suspension, it's got sticky MRF tires, the suspension has been tuned, the engine has been tuned, it promises to make a nice sporty exhaust, and it has nothing to do with this, the Tamo Racemo, the flagship performance car from Tata Motors, which is still under development. The Auto Expo kicked off with this vehicle, Maruti Suzuki's Concept Future S. Now, as you can see, this is a compact car, but it's got significant SUV styling cues. So, drawing a little inspiration from the Renault Kwid, which is a small car with sort of SUV styling cues, this one takes it one step further. It previews Maruti Suzuki's next design direction for their small and compact cars. Obviously, this is significantly away from production. It is a pure show car, and even the interior is not yet ready. It's got complete range of connected technologies, but Maruti Suzuki is not saying what platform it is based on nor what engines it's going to run. This right now is not an EV nor is it a hybrid. It will have conventional power plants. What you need to be excited about is the styling. It looks like no other Maruti Suzuki on the road. It does not look boring, it does not look staid. It looks very funky, very in your face, very different and rather out there. The other concept on the Maruti Suzuki stand was this, the E-Survivor. Now, this is a pure EV. It was earlier shown at the Tokyo Motor Show, and this is the second time this concept is being seen at any motor show stand. It also has a plug-in hybrid version, and don't get too excited because this does not preview the next Gypsy. This is a pure EV concept that hints at what could be there in the future. The big launch of the Auto Expo was Kia. This was Kia's first introduction to Indian consumers and the first time Indian enthusiasts got to see Kia, and they had the entire range on display. Their small cars, sedans, SUVs, electric vehicles, even the performance car, the Stinger GT, all of them were on display at the stand, and this was the key message that Kia was giving to Indian consumers, that Kias are styled very beautifully. They are very nicely done, they look really interesting, very desirable and quite premium and upmarket. The one striking thing about all Kias is the tiger nose grille. Now, that is a common element that runs through all the Kia cars, and it gives a solid identity to the entire brand. But the main thing showcasing at the center of the stand was the Concept SP. Now, this is the concept that has been designed for India. It is a Creta, a Hyundai Creta under the skin. In fact, Hyundais and Kias will share the same platforms, the same motors, the same transmissions. But the Concept SP has been styled really well. It looks very premium, very upmarket. And Peter Schreier, president of Kia and one of the rock stars of the design world, he told us that the actual production car, once it hits the road, will not be too far off the Concept SP. So remove the blinky details and the big wheels, and this is the compact SUV that will hit our roads sometime in March, April of next year. Kia is betting really big on India. They've invested around $1.1 billion in their plant in Andhra Pradesh, which will be ready by early next year. The production capacity is 300,000 cars per annum. So obviously the rumor mill is that Hyundai will start taking some of the production from Kia at the start, and this is going to be one of the game changers on Indian roads very soon. Making a big impact at the Auto Expo was India's second largest car manufacturer, Hyundai Motor India. And this is how visitors to the stand were greeted, by the sight of a Verna being assembled by robots in a similar fashion to what the robots would be doing at the Chennai facility, obviously without the wells. At the back were these two glorious motorsport inspired vehicles, the i20 WRC, which is making waves in the World Rally Championship, and the RN30, which is the concept for the touring car of the future. Right at the front was the Ioniq, the electric vehicle. Now, plans for an India launch of the Ioniq are on hold. Hyundai is evaluating between the Kona EV and the Ioniq, and they're waiting for clarifications on what sort of duty structures and subsidies electric cars will get. This one is confirmed, the Elite i20. It was the first launch of the Auto Expo, the first proper launch. Now, it's not too different from the current i20. There are slight and subtle tweaks to the styling, but the engine, the transmission, the platform, all of that remain the same. The big difference is that the petrol now gets the option of a CVT automatic transmission, which you can order starting from March. Prices are out, and it is around 5,000 rupees more expensive than the current i20. One of the nicest, sweetest designed concept cars of the motor show was this, the Honda Sport EV concept. It was earlier shown at the Tokyo Motor Show, and boy does it look gorgeous. It also previews Honda's next generation design language. Clean, simple and emotional. It looks really beautiful, and it has been creating waves all over the world. Everybody has been raving about this. If the next Civic adopts this styling cue, wow, you're going to love it. Obviously, this is an electric, keeping in step with all the electrics that were flooding the motor show. But going away from the concepts and to the actual production cars on the Honda stand, this is the new Amaze. As you can see, it has been completely redesigned. Now, the Amaze hasn't done really strong numbers for Honda, and so Honda have gone to the effort of completely redesigning the car. Whether you like it or don't like it, well, that is something that you need to make up your mind on. As you can see, the front is more blunt, and so is the rear. The smooth flowing lines of the earlier Amaze is completely gone. This looks completely different, in fact, from the earlier Amaze, except in profile, where the silhouette has been retained. In fact, the changes go over to the interior also, which has been heavily revised and updated. When will it hit our roads? Sometime very soon, middle of this year is what Honda is telling us. Also on the stand was the new CR-V as well as the new Civic. These are the two cars that will hit the roads sometime this year, and that marks Honda's move back into the premium game. Now, if you remember, Honda started off with premium cars, and back in the day, the Accord, the CR-V, they were the best selling cars in their respective categories. Honda wants that mind space back. They want that premium tag back, and that is what the new Civic as well as the new CR-V is set to do. Electric vehicles took center stage at Mahindra and Mahindra's stand at the Auto Expo, and these were the two most important ones, the Udo and the Atom. The Udo is the personal mobility device, 2 seats, tandem seating, and it's a 3-wheeler, whereas the Atom is a last mile connectivity tool. Also making waves was the Stinger concept. Now, this is based on the TV platform, and it is a chop-top SUV. Now, chop-top SUVs or convertible SUVs haven't been taken off in the European markets. This one is obviously inspired by the Evoque convertible. Whether you like it or don't like it, well, there is no getting away from its distinctive looks. It definitely turns heads. I don't think you'll be able to buy it very soon because India is not a convertible market at all. This is something that you will be able to buy very soon. This is the SsangYong Rexton G4, but in India it is badged as a Mahindra. So it is the Mahindra Rexton G4. The SsangYong Rexton has been received very well in European markets. A great combination of practicality, value, good rugged engineering and nice interiors. As you can see, it also looks very nice. It doesn't have that typical Mahindra slam bang in your face styling. It is done quite well, and I think it will be well received if it is priced well. The other interesting concept at the show was the Mahindra Wanderlust. It is based on the Thar, but obviously raised to the power of 10. Massive tires and all the frills of a proper hardcore 4x4.